Hey everybody, welcome in, and today is the first of a few different team builds that will be going around Zurg, but this one is probably one of one of the more enjoyable ones, and the reason why that is this team is just all out offense. So as you'll notice here, these are all, well, 4 of them are my tier 8 characters: Zurg, Elsa, Sheriff, and then Hero. Anna is straight tier 7, has a uh, flawed, the second stage speedstone on her. But the idea of this team is all out offense. Hero, give Zurg the first turn, snipe one, take another one out. Use Anna to help boot, like Elsa she'll pop off. Use Anna to help boost to give Elsa some more turns and more abilities, and then give same for Hero. Give Hero more turns, get him using more of his abilities, so I can then give Sheriff and Zurg more turns, and then Sheriff will naturally be taking more turns of his own anyway. So the idea here is just a super fast, and then the same with the spells, using the Slumber while it is still unnerfed, while it is still OP as control, and then using the pot for getting more MP, so I can then use abilities just consistently. So we'll use it here. So it's amazing, absolutely amazing for bots. So especially with bots, you don't want to be taking a long time. So this is going to be how we're going to be running this, and how I will be running this. First turn, give the speed over to Zurg. Let Zurg go and target whoever has the highest speed bar. Snipe that one. It's all about controlling. So boom, sniped, having another turn. Go for his big blast on the next person who has the next turn. Or you can go on one of the characters that has very high health. So if you were to do it on a character that has very high health, that will just help when it comes around to Elsa and Sheriff come around to actually take them out. So here I'm going to go get Elsa the haste, so that you can just start building up her turns. And also for coming up here, it was important that, as you may see, I am able to now get haste on Elsa, get offense up on Elsa. What that does is it increases the damage here on this AoE ability, able to then Fairy Slumber, but here having pot in range or next to Anna also helps me to then boost everybody with bonuses. Anyone with say the haste, the offense, and things like that are gonna also get bonus speed meter. So instantly, Hero and Elsa get a turn, and then boom, MP's filled right up again and wiping characters out. So that is like the whole plan. You're using Zurg to start things off, just to pop out 2 characters straight away, and then using the others to pop on through. And I didn't even get like Sheriff in there. If it was against another opponent with like Bubbles or Stitch or anyone else grabbing effects, he'll be popping off too. And then after, if there are people still surviving after the initial blast, Sheriff was going to go in and start just popping them off, because he's got the single target damage. He'll pop them off one at a time. So, and it's all starting with Zurg. So we'll jump in, we'll see if we can get a proper opponent. Now with beast teams, it is a 50-50 with, if you choose to go the Zurg way and see if you can then pop them off, and unless you're getting offense down on Zurg, then or Baymax, you still can't snipe them in one hit. So you do have to be careful of teams like this. But this is very much, you're going in, it's a 50-50. And the good thing about it is it's a win or lose team. You're either going to go in and blast straight in, and just go absolutely straight in, Or, so I'm just going to go defense here. So other times I would go offense, and I probably could go offense and then give it to Sheriff. And gone for the 50-50 to see if I can snipe. To see if I can snipe Baymax. But with him being silenced, it just is not an option because of Ursula. So there are different options of the way to play this. Now, if this was a full level playing field, then absolutely yes, this would have been nasty. Like if I had offense up here, that would have been the KO, and then I would be able to then take out either Go-Go or take out Go-Go or Hero or someone like, or Ursula if I wanted to. But this is the part where things get troublesome with this team. If the strategy falls apart, so you're banking this on the way you've set up your team, you're banking this on I'm just gonna go give this to Elsa just for the sake of it, and let's go AoE. But you're banking it on being able to get Anna to pop off, use her haste, because that's just going to kick everything off. It's going to fill up those Hero and Anna's abilities that they've just used, and then get them to go off multiple times after Zurg has done his thing. Now, as I said, you can play it differently when people are running like the likes of Beast, and if you don't want to just go straight for 50-50, you can play it better. But as I was mentioning before, this is either go and win or lose. Because you're not running a tank, just straight offense characters and a couple of supports, if they die fast, that's fine. You can just go in there, go for quick trophies if you need to. And this is what I do sometimes. I'm like, if I'm short of time, which I often am, you can just go running on in here. And I probably should have just waited a little bit more. But you can just run on in and try and snipe, play the 50-50 game, try and snipe. If that does or doesn't work, you can just let your team get wiped, forfeit out, and then because like Zurg just drops, Hero will just drop, Anna will just drop, especially at tier 7, like things like this. So it is all definitely doable and manageable. But oh man, Ursula is killing this team too. So not only Beast, but Ursula too. So you do have to be careful of who you're playing and how you are playing the team. So let us jump in and get some of that haste up. So yet again, if it comes to this, like you can either play through these to try and win, or you can just go in and just let yourself lose. And since he does have the evade up, I will just be going for the blast. But you can also change the spells around. So using the pot is solely offense only, and that's your intent. You're not trying to survive out and go against defensive tanks and things like this, especially for going up against other gear tier 8s. If they're running double tanks, that does stifle the likes of the first turning Zurg. But yet again, if I wanted to get a key, don't need one at the moment, I can just snipe Baymax there, or hit Baymax one more time, and then go and get a key, go in again, and have some quick consecutive turns. If you really wanted to, you could replace some of these. You could easily slip Golden Hammer into here, because Golden Hammer works very, 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 very well with Zurg. if Zurg gets taken out early, because some people see him as a threat and they just want to get rid of him, especially if you can get an ability off. Some people make the mistake of trying to take him out after he's popped off his 2 abilities, think, oh, I want to get rid of him before he comes back again in another 2-3 turns. He generally doesn't survive that long, generally. But if they take him out early and then you have Golden Hammer, automatically you get those 2 abilities again. And then that can just like wreak havoc with opponents. So let us jump in one more time and see. It's very, very similar to teams, but no Ursa this time. So one thing I will be able to do here, if I can go for the 50-50, no, I cannot. Maybe I can, we'll see. I'll see if I can do it. So here, with Zurg, with his Baymax not being, I lost the 50-50. And if he steals that, if he steals the offense, then, so that's the whole 50-50. Like, if I had survived that, I could have gone up against Baymax just there and gone for a 1-turn snipe. Because here, this won't do it, but I'm just going to give an example. If I did this with offense up, that would have been a KO. And then I would be, boom, automatic turn, wipe out either Wasabi or Go-Go, and just try and limit the damage that I'm going to be taking. But even then, I'm happy just to eat up some of this damage. I don't mind that at all. And yet again, boom, easy, one key. You can do that so fast, and this will drop like pretty much 2 characters. And all he needs to do here is pop another turn, and then we should be like losing another character, and then you're in a forfeiting state. So boom, like easy as that. Boom, get your keys, because sometimes that is important. If, like, for me, I run short of time a lot. I run short of time all the time. So being able to go in and just rack through in a few minutes and get a whole bunch of keys is important. And when people are not just running Beast, then you can see another side of this too. So that is one of the downsides. So you've seen the positives that this can do, and then you also see the negatives. And at the moment, a lot of people, especially in the high tier, Beast is everywhere. He is a beast, and this, it just turns it into a 50-50 game. So you could also, if I wanted to, so here we go, we'll see if I can do this, depending on how he plays this, with his Baymax or with his hero. If I can get my hero in first, I can go for the 50-50, go for the snipe here. And the good thing is here, if I go, you could do it 2 ways. I could go A, give Anna a turn, let her give haste. That's going to give hero another turn. The pot's going to have a turn, or I can just go straight for Zurg. So I'm going to go Zurg for this option, just to get him in damaging, and I'm going to drop the slumber just because we can. But those ones there can snipe first turn when they're not on a full health stone. So it can definitely work and pull off. Sometimes it also can't. But if I was running Go-Go, if I wanted to swap Go-Go in instead of the likes of Sheriff, because Sheriff is doing his thing, but this is what I could have done before. I could have first turn gone Anna boost Elsa and hero, and then with all of the boosting, I'm just going to crash, apparently. With all of the boosting, deal a little bit more damage, like I could have done Elsa's Show Yourself before Zurg has a turn. It all depends on how you want to set it up. So So there are options out there. I can go and throw the Go-Go in here. Go-Go will also protect you against Ursula because I've got a speed stone on Go-Go. That will just help. It helps with the AoE nature of this. So you'll see it with, I'll be able to offense or defense down on the tanks on Baymax. With defense down, Zurg can snipe. So depending on what his hero does, if he forces a turn to Go-Go or if he defends. If he defends, that does definitely make things more difficult. So I can either defend myself or you can just go full offense. So you can go and give this back to like Go-Go or Ana. I prefer with Ana to do this when you do have the pot, because just getting all of that extra MP is definitely far more worth it. So I'm gonna go and see if I can just drop Baymax's turn meter a bit, but at least set up the defenses as well. So things like this, when you're giving the turns with hero to Ana to give the MP back, you're still going to have a second turn with hero as well, just because of the buffs that they get. So those are some bonuses with doing that, but doing it this way is just not as fast. So if you're running this team for speed and speed keys, this has its own limitations. And now I am stuck in some of those limitations. So what we will definitely be doing, and that's going to be Goodbye Go-Go. And Beast is just going to be sneaking up on the turns too. But these are different ways you can play this, and the team can and does work out when you're running it like this. But you also just need to make sure you're aware of who you're facing, what is happening, and let's go for Snipe. Since he doesn't have defense, you either just need like that little bit more damage. So if my Go-Go was tier 8 like my opponent's ones, I would have done that little bit more damage and being able to get those snipes on. So there are definitely more opportunities here, but this is still just a great team to run in, blast through things, and then either win or lose, grab a couple of keys, knock out a couple of characters, or you can just easily just wipe a team. Depending on like if you're doing the 50-50, let me just, you don't want to see Elsa locked behind a ice wall. Depending on what the opponents are and how equivalent the teams are, that can just change the way you do things. So it is definitely a great team. It has a lot of potential. If I could have invested into a little bit more for the likes of Ana or Go-Go, that would help the structure for this a lot, and especially getting a little bit more speed and the likes of things like that, as well as Go-Go with a little bit more damage. All of those little things help for just helping the start and getting everything up and running, and Zurg popping off and things like that. So sometimes just those itty bitty little changes that you can make that can make it really work. So that is a team. That is the first team of these that I will be showing. And yes, I got slammed today in some of these matches, but that is partially how you're running this, and you're not running this for long matches, because honestly, how many of in the comments below, how many of you all want to always have super long like long matches, like 10 15 minutes in PvP? There are times that I'm just like, sometimes I'll love a great solid match, and other times I'll just be like, I just want to get some games. I don't want to be sitting here for 15-20 minutes. So I want to hear from you guys. What do you guys think about this team and Zurg at T8? I'm a little bit sad. He can't always snipe things, but it's probably good that he can't just snipe everything on his own. At least it makes you build the team a little bit better. So there are those options. The one other option is I can run the T8 Stitch. That helps against Baymaxes. It doesn't really help against Beasts. So it depends on who you're running into. Versus Baymax, Stitch, people with their max their Baymax and they're getting the charges, he'll start attacking, and then that will lower it, also stack a couple of defense downs, and then Zurg can just step straight in. So there are those other options, and it all does fit within that whole quick sniping turns. So run it the way you want to, but it also just depends on who you're running into, what kind of teams you're running into, and I find that Stitch doesn't really do that well. It can do okay against Beasts, but it can also work against you with Beasts as well. So just bear that in mind. But hopefully you've enjoyed this little bit of a Zurg team building and just a all-out offense. Go get those quick matches however you want to have them and get some keys if you don't want to be locked up in PvP all day. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and we'll see you guys next time.